Okay, if I didn't make this abundantly clear in my last video, I will not be doing any No Man's Skies videos. It's terrible on PC. That's just it. It's almost unplayable on PC. While I'm looking for other content to do, I decided I would talk a little bit about stuff that would be in Xenoverse 2 that I would like to see changed in some way or improved upon from the last game. So this time we're going to be talking about Kaio-Ken. Kaio-Ken was a transformation ability that was put in your super slot, not your ultimate slot. And what the first form Kaio-Ken did is it would drain your stamina slowly, but in turn you get a little bit of a power boost. Kaio-Ken times 3 did the same thing, but is a little bit stronger and it drains your stamina more. And Kaio-Ken times 20 allowed you to use your snap vanishes and escape maneuvers for free, but it drained your stamina a lot faster than the last two transformations. I see that they want Kaio-Ken to be a very stamina build-centric move, and it's very straining on the stamina, and I'll keep it that way, but I'd like that to be changed so you don't have the constantly draining stamina. So first thing I would obviously change, well, honestly, in my opinion, I would do this. I would put it in the ultimate slot instead of being a regular super move, because there was really no reason to have it on the super move anyway, because you couldn't use one transformation along with Kaio-Ken, so why bother having it as a super move when you can't use it in tangent with other transformations anyway? It just seems kind of redundant. If they're going to do that same thing, if you can't use Kaio-Ken with Super Saiyan or Kaio-Ken with Unlocked Potential, then I see no reason why it should be in the super slot. That's just, I don't feel it should be there. Also, I would completely remove the whole draining stamina thing. Because stamina is important in this game, and it's just so unfortunate that you have to constantly be managing it. You have to take away one of your super slots to constantly manage your stamina. It's a little stupid. I don't like having to do that. It's a little ridiculous. And considering they already removed the fact that Super Saiyans don't drain their ki anymore when they transform, then I see no reason why Kaio-Ken should be draining your stamina. Also, a small thing I would change is it would be a faster activation than a normal transformation, and I'll explain why in a second. The first major thing about Kaio-Ken that I would change is I would make it a progressive power boost, much like Super Saiyan 1 through 3. Now, you might already be telling me, like, oh, well, why would you do that? Why do that when you could just be a Super Saiyan? Well, I'll explain in a second. Let me just go ahead and get this controversial thing out of the way because I know someone's going to say, no, this is a horrible idea, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. When you use Kaio-Ken, when you use one version of the Kaio-Ken, it reduces your stamina by 1 bar. I know that sounds so stupid, it sounds so much more counterproductive compared to the draining stamina thing, but just hear me out. So when you drain that bar, you go to Kaio-Ken times 1. That's just your normal Kaio-Ken. And each time you use Kaio-Ken further, so Kaio-Ken times 2, you lose 2 bars of stamina. Kaio-Ken times 3, you lose 3 bars of stamina, and so on and so forth. Now, I think in Xenoverse, I don't know this for certain, but I'll have to go and check it later. But I think in Xenoverse 1, the maximum amount of stamina that you can have is a total of 10 bars. So if that's going to be the same for Xenoverse 2, that leaves you with 10 total Kaio-Ken transformations, leading all the way up to Kaio-Ken times 10. So now, you might be asking, what exactly is the benefit of transforming with Kaio-Ken? Okay, with each addition of Kaio-Ken that you keep on transforming into, going from times 1 to times 2 to times 3, it increases your power by 5% per time that you do that. There you can see where I would like the faster activation for Kaio-Ken. But also, each time you use Kaio-Ken, it increases your speed by 2%. So by the end of it, if Xenoverse 2 is just like Xenoverse 1, and you wind up with a maximum of 10 total stamina bars with maxed out stamina in your stats, that leaves you with 10 total uses of Kaio-Ken, all leading up to a 50% power boost for your damage, for your ki blast, and all that good stuff, and a 20% increase to your speed. Now, obviously, the drawbacks is when you fully transform with Kaio-Ken, when you're using a maxed out Kaio-Ken, you don't have stamina. You've got no defense for if someone is hitting you unless you are really, really good at back kicking or you know how to avoid someone without having to use your stamina. That is personally the drawback that I would have for Kaio-Ken, and that's a bigger detriment, but it's meant for a lot bigger payoff because you have 50% total damage for everything that you do, as well as a 20% increase to speed. The way I would have it so that you could power down, since obviously Kaio-Ken is going to be mapped to one button, is that you just double tap the button to completely power down out of Kaio-Ken. So if you were Kaio-Ken times 1 and you pull yourself out of Kaio-Ken, you're left with a half a stamina bar. If you were Kaio-Ken times 2 and you pull yourself out of Kaio-Ken, you're left with 1 stamina bar, and so on and so forth. So that is personally how I would work Kaio-Ken in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I know it's a bit more of a stretch considering Xenoverse 1 had the draining stamina, and this one is just straight up losing all of your stamina bar completely. But in my opinion, the trade-offs are a lot better. This would probably be, if it's done this way, this would probably be a move that really professional players would use because they know how to escape an attack without having to use their stamina or having to use their escape maneuvers. They know how to dodge out of the way without using their snap vanishes. They know how to back kick when someone teleports behind them. So this would probably be a very advanced transformation that a lot of good players would probably use. Not really many casual players. Those casual players would probably be Super Saiyans anyway. That's how I would work Kaio-Ken in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Leave your thoughts on whether or not you agree with me, or how you would change Kaio-Ken, or how you would make any transformation work, to be honest. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.